Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will be covering one more interview question that is asked in one of the big MNC company, that is Capgemini. And in this video, we will be covering a lot of functionality of different functions of the Pyspark. So this question is not a tricky question, I would say, but you need to know exactly how to approach this question in order to solve it. So I would definitely recommend you to watch my complete playlist in which I have explained a lot of questions, different interview questions from different companies, which will really help you in cracking the interviews. So make sure also you go ahead, watch it step by step, every approach you learn, and also you practice them by your own hands with the keyboards so that whenever you are appearing for an interview, everything is on the top of the mind and you can approach the question and you can write it. It's not only mugging up the syntax, but it's also how exactly you approach the question. So if you want to literally clear an interview, make sure you practice all the questions that I have shown you in the interview playlist and the Big Four Consulting interview series. And the question that I'm covering today, it is asked in Capgemini, which is one of the, again, big MNCs. These kind of questions are asked mostly, so make sure you prepare them very well before actually an interview starts kicking in. So let's get started with today's question. Okay, so this question has two data set. One is the lift data set in which it has a lift ID and capacity. And the second data set has a passenger name, the weight, the lift ID. So basically, when you are actually entering into a lift, it has a capacity that it can hold and it can help you moving from one floor to another. So the lift ID 1 has a capacity of 300 and lift ID 2 has a capacity of 350. So in lift ID 1, there are some passengers who are entering and they have a specific weight. And lift ID 2 also has some passengers entering into it and has a weight. So basically, lift ID 1 has a capacity of 3. So if you will see and you will sum all of them, they may go ahead and increase the weight. So it wants to check how many passengers can go ahead and enter into the lift so that the lift capacity is not overloaded. This is like a real time scenario. If you go in any lift, that capacity is already there. So on the basis of that, Capgemini is asking you this kind of a question. So let's say if I just go ahead and sum all of this, then if you will see, the sum is around 333. However, the capacity of one lift is 300. So all the passengers cannot enter into this lift. There are few passengers only who can enter into the lift. So you have to figure out which passenger can enter into the lift. The second here, if I see what is the sum of this is 318. So the capacity of this lift is 350, but only 318 is the all the passengers. If I include, it's only 318. So all the passengers can go ahead and be inside the lift. So if you will see the names of the passenger, this is my output table basically, and all my passenger in the lift 2, all my passengers can enter, but in lift 1 there's one passenger who cannot enter. Basically, how exactly can you figure it out? Basically, you have to order the passengers in the lift should be ordered in their weight, right? So that's what is the scenario. Basically, whoever has having the lower weight will actually enter into the lift first, and whoever is having the more weight will not enter into the lift, right? That is what exactly is the question. Now, I need to get the answer in a comma separated list of passengers. That is also an important thing you need to keep in mind, how exactly you will be getting the output as. Right? So let me go ahead. Now you have understood what question is all about. Now let's see how we can approach this particular question. To approach this question, you will first see what we exactly did. We said, let's sum it up, right? And let's see if the capacity is increasing 300. If it is increasing, let's break it out, where exactly which passenger, the last passenger is there who can enter into the lift, right? Similarly, we have to do it for the lift too. Once it exceeds, then we will not include that particular passenger and we will just keep it as it is. So if you will see, the capacity is in a different table and lift ID and the weight and passenger's name is in a different table. So the first step that you can do is, let's say you can join this passengers with the lift, and once you join, what will happen is this column will have 300 and all the columns will have basically 300, right? Now here, now for this it will be 350. Okay, so this will be 350. Now in this 350, let me just change the color of this. Yeah. So now all the passengers can include here. So once you actually go ahead and join these two tables, then it will be easier to filter out which passenger will not be included. So for that, let me copy this and paste it in a different cell so that I can explain you how to basically approach this particular question. Okay. So this is my table. Okay, now what I will include is I will include this column as well to get it. So I'll put it here. Let me add it here, or okay, let me do one thing because it's overriding my question. I'll just paste it in a different cell. Okay, now what I will do is I will calculate first the running sum. Okay, so if I calculate the running sum, if you will see, these 85 and 73 is what? 158, right? And 73 and 95 is 168. Then if I calculate all the four, then it's 333. So I have to calculate the running sum. So if the running sum is less than the capacity, then we will include that particular passenger's name. If it is more, then I will not include that passenger's name. So that is the whole scenario, what exactly you need to do. So let's go into the Databricks notebook and let's solve this particular question. Okay, so this is my lift data set. I'll just run this command. In this data set, I have the lift data, which is having this particular schema, the passenger data, which is having this particular schema, and then I'm creating two data frames out of it. One is the lift data frame, another is the passenger's data frame. So if you don't know how to basically create a data frame, I will highly recommend you to watch my video in which I have explained to you how to create a data frame and how to create a schema in different ways. That is also very important to know before actually appearing for any interview. So before I start with the answer, I will do one thing. I will import some functions. So I'll do a pyspark.sql.functions. I will import star and I will import the window from the window because I need to calculate the running sum. For that, I will need the window to be imported. Now, the next step that I will be doing is I will be joining my passengers data frame with my lift data frame. So let me calculate the df. Let's say my answer is equal to one is my lift data frame. What is the name of the lift data frame? Lift df and lift passenger df. So I will do a lift df passenger df. I'll join it by my lift data frame on what? I will be joining it by my lift passengers data with my lift ID and my lift data with my ID. Okay. Let me check if it's the column name is ID. Yeah, this is the column is ID and this is the lift ID. And how exactly I want to join? I want to join an inner so that I will cover all my data set. Now, let me show you how the answer looks like. Okay, so this is okay. So let me see. List attribute doesn't have. Okay, this is data frame. Sorry, I made a mistake in the data frame name. So it's taking something else. Let me join the lift data frame. It doesn't have the lift ID. What is it? Lift underscore ID. List object has, okay, again, the data frame name is incorrect. Let me correct this up. I don't know why it's taking list data. Again, the data frame name I need to correct. Okay, let's correct this. Okay, here we go. So this is my passenger name, weight, lift ID, and capacity. If you will see, we have all the data in one data frame now, but I don't want both the columns to be same, right? What I will do is instead of both the columns, I'll just select the ones that I need. So my, I'll select some columns, right, that I actually need. One is my passenger name, second is my weight kg, third is my lift ID, and I don't need the ID, so I'll just not take it. The fourth is my capacity kg. Okay, now let me do a show command for this. So it will just show me the columns that I selected. Okay, this is my required thing. And I will just assign it to df answer so that my df answer data frame gets replaced. Here we go. Now on the top of this df answer, what I will do is I will calculate the running weight. Okay, so for running weight, how exactly will you calculate the running weight? For calculating the running weight, I need to actually partition the data. Partition the data on the basis of what? I can partition it by lift ID because that's the running total I want. I want it till this much, right? And then I want it for this much. But I want the ones who have lesser weight to enter into the lift first. So I will be ordering it by my weight kg. So let's do one thing. Let me first get the window spec. In the window spec, I will be calculating the window that I want. I want the window by partition by my lift ID, and I want to order by the weight, right? Weight in kgs. This is my window. Now in the df answer, what I will do is I will add one more column which will actually give us the running weight. So using the with column, you can actually create a column. If you don't know how to use the with column, I've already created a video in which the with column is being used. I'll pin it in the I button. You can go ahead and watch that video as well. Now I will be, let's say I will just make the name as running sum, and in the running sum I want to do a sum of the column. Which column? I want to sum the weight column, weight kg, and I want to order it by dot over my window spec, right? So this is my window spec. Now let me go ahead and do a df answer dot show. Let's see if in case there is any syntax error coming up. Okay, so it says with column none type object doesn't have a with column. Let's see. Okay, I was getting an error here because I did a show command here and I did not run this df answer, so it was giving me an error. Let me try it now. Okay, so this is my df answer dot show. So this is the running sum. So if you will see 73 is here. Now 73 plus 80 is 153. 153 plus 85 is 238, and 238 plus 95 is 333. Similarly, it's for the partition 2. The 73 remains as it is. Then 73 plus 77 is 150, and 83 plus 150 is 220, 233, and so on, right? So we got the running sum already. Now in this running sum, we need to do a second thing, that is we need to filter out if in case this running sum is greater than the capacity gauge, then we need to filter out those records. So let's go ahead and filter out the record. So I will have df answer dot filter on what? Filter the column capacity kg. This should be less than the column, sorry, the running sum should be less. So the running sum will be less than the capacity column. So this will filter out my records and you will see the 333 is no longer there, right? So I'll just do one thing. Instead of show here, I'll just reassign this particular data frame and replace it with df answer. Okay. So now I will do a df answer dot show again. So this is my data frame in which I have filtered out the records. Now, what does it say? I need to go ahead and get it in a comma separated value, as I was showing you in the Excel sheet how exactly you want the result. You want the result like this: lift ID, names, and this. So if you will see, it has aggregated it using the lift ID. So it's grouped by. So if it is grouping by lift ID, there is a functionality which is called the collect list. What it will do is it will collect all the values and put it in a list. Now it is in a list, like for example, this particular value will be like this, right? So now I don't want the list like in brackets. I just want it in a string format. So what I can do is I can use the concatenate with separator, and with separator is using the comma. So this will give us the string format. So this is my approach how I have to actually group by lift ID and collect it as a list. So let me go ahead and let me do that. So we have my df answer in which I will be doing a collect list operation. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm doing a group by. In the group by, I am calculating, grouping it by what? By lift ID. And then I'm aggregating. I will aggregate, but for that, I have to concatenate with the separator. With the separator, what? It is comma, right? And the next value here will be my collect list. So I will be doing a collect list on what? I will be doing collect list on my column passenger name, right? So this is my output. So let me go ahead and do a df answer dot show. So you will see this is my output. This is my lift ID for this first lift. These are my passenger's name, and for lift ID 2, these are my passenger's name. So let me do one thing in here. I will do one more thing, that is with this particular concatenated value, I will be aliasing it, basically aliasing it with my column name, because I don't want the column name to be like this. So I will alias it by, let's say, names. Okay, and then I will do a df.show. Let me also do truncate equal to false so that I can see all the result properly. Okay, the passenger name dot alias. I think I misplaced a bracket. I think aggregated concatenated this. Let me check. Okay, it seems my cluster was not working properly, because of which it was giving me a passenger name was not defined. But this is what exactly how you can solve this, by using a concat with separator and the collect list, and also aliasing it with the name. So this is my output. So if you will see in this example, there's a lot of things that you did. One is you learned how to do a join operation on the ID. There are different types of join. This time we used inner join. Then you calculated the running sum using the windowing function. Then you filtered out the data. and also you use the concat with separator to convert the list collect list to a string format. So if you will see here, I'll show you the names is in a string format and lift id is in the integer. If you don't use concat with separator and just do a collect list, it will be in a list format. So now there is one more thing. We have performed several points, right? First is join, second is running wait, third is filter data, fourth is comma separated value. So in the four cells, we have actually executed the things. What you can also do is all the four commands, you can put it into one cell. How you can do it, I have written it here. It's nothing but I just concatenated everything. So for example, this is my passengers data frame, this is my list data frame, which I did a joining operation, which is inner. Then on that, I selected the columns that I need. Using with column, I calculated the running sum, and then I filtered out the operation which is less than that. And then I did a group by and concatenated with separator, and I got my string data from that list, and I did the alias. So everything you can do it in one cell also if you want to do, but in the backend the same thing is going to happen. What you did isn't separated by this. The only thing is that you are doing a show operation, so every time it's actually going ahead and creating an action, and it's actually executing everything from start to end, right? But in this it's not, it's actually checking the plan, and it's actually calculating once an action is being called, which is the show or which is the display, right? So this is exactly how you can go ahead and you can solve this particular question. Before I leave, I will also show you the my YouTube channel in which you can go ahead and learn different interview questions and different playlists. So in this playlist, I have shown you how you can create a data frame, which is the Databricks playlist. If I open, there's a lot of things starting from the Databricks free account to how you can read, write, autoloader. There are a lot of topics that I've already covered. You can just go through it. It will really help you. And then you also have this interview series in which I've covered a lot of questions, which I was explaining in the beginning of the video as well. So you can practice all the questions here. And apart from this is the playlist of the big data big four consulting questions here, so you can also practice. So if you will see, I've covered a lot of questions already, so you should actually practice it. And if you are preparing for the Databricks certification, go ahead, watch this particular playlist. I have covered all the questions which are actually asked in the Databricks certification for the data engineers, right? So if you have liked this video and you have understood how exactly you can approach this question, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Till the next video, stay tuned, practice well, and prepare yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.